Oh, I think my clerk had told me that somebody wanted to do that with their client. All
Yeah, I
right,
was.
I'm going to send you. Okay, I'll send you and your
Doesn't play games, so here's what went down. We've got Sierra Renee Urell, charged with assault and battery, joining court from home, literally lounging in bed. The judge starts off calm, even polite, asking her to sit up, act professional, pretend they're in an actual courtroom. You'd think that's simple enough, right? Nope. From the jump, Sierra's rolling her eyes, mumbling under her breath, and throwing attitude like she's auditioning for Real Housewives of Courtroom Zoom.
I'm ready on Urell. This is case number 224557001. The people of the state of Michigan versus Sierra Renee Urell. Oh, this is a recall because I called it before. Okay. Counsel, you've had an opportunity to speak with your client. How do you wish to proceed?
Yes, Judge. At this time, would you entertain a motion to withdraw?
I guess so. um,
Judge, there has been a
Go ahead.
may proceed. Thank you. There has been a breakdown in the attorney-client relationship. We have fundamental differences regarding our understanding of the facts in this case, as well as the application of the law to the facts. Yeah, based on that, I would motion to withdraw at this time, again, as there has been a breakdown in the attorney-client relationship.
And Ms. Urell, do you agree with that assessment by your counsel?
I guess.
Okay, I guess. And then counsel, you were retained, correct?
No, Judge, I am appointed on this matter.
Oh, okay. You're appointed.
Yes, Judge.
So does that mean that, oh, let me get Ms. Stevenson. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Ms. Ritter, can you join me and Ms. Stevenson in breakout room number 1? And then counsel, I may need you also, but give me a moment. Ms. Ritter,
Yes, Judge.
me and Ms. Stevenson in breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am.
So I had an opportunity. I was trying to figure out, after you said you were appointed counsel, I was trying to figure out why you would have been appointed, because we have, defender's office. And so that's why I went in to speak with Ms. Stevenson. And then she brought it back to my remembrance. So I'm getting ready to say this to Ms. Urell. You're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to be representing yourself, because Mr. Pernicano is the second lawyer that I've had appointed to you. Miss Urell, I need you to look at me, because you're looking up in the ceiling. So this Mr. Pernicano is the second lawyer that I've had appointed to you. And the only way that we do apple picking when it comes to picking lawyers is when we hire our own lawyers. So when you hire your own lawyer, then you get to decide what lawyer you want. You get your lawyer of your choosing. And then I was reminded that your mouth was foul when it came to your lawyer. And people don't have to put up with people being disrespectful and rude and whatever. Again, you're looking up in the ceiling. And I'm trying to be patient this morning. People don't have to put up with being cursed at when they're trying to represent you. People don't. And I think you just cursed at me because I'm good at reading.
No, I did not. You're just trying to start something. I did not just curse at you.
You said I'm trying to start something, girl. Who you talking to?
Look at you. You're being rude right now. I'm not even being rude to you. You've been rude all morning. I haven't even been rude to you.
My level best. I've tried my level best. And then she just had the nerve to say I've been rude all morning. She just said, I've been rude all morning. I mean, that is so hilariously funny. I can't even put that to words. So what I'm going to do is this. We're going to all just come on.
Then Judge Bryant reminds her, if she can't act like she's in court from home, she'll make it happen in person. That's when you know the judge has reached her limit. Meanwhile, her lawyer is trying to keep the peace, politely asking for a breakout room to calm things down. But deep down, you can already tell this isn't going to end quietly. Now, once they come back from that breakout session, things go exactly how you'd expect. The defense attorney, clearly exhausted, asks to withdraw from the case. And that's a huge red flag. You only see that when the lawyer and client are at total war with each other. He tells the judge there's been a...
I don't even have to read lips. I won't have to... I mean, I've literally not... She said I've been rude all morning. I've literally not said anything about the fact
I
that...
just tell you what you said.
I've literally not said anything about the fact that Miss Urell is like literally in the bed. I've not even addressed the fact that she's in the bed. And she said, I've been rude all morning. And then thankfully, I don't care if you're sitting up. It is inappropriate to come to court sitting up, laying down, sitting over the bed. I don't care if you're sitting up. I know you're sitting up. I can clearly see with my eyes that you are sitting up, because contrary to popular, to your belief, because not popular belief, I'm very intelligent. I can see that you're sitting up in the bed. What I also know is that you have been rude and you cannot maintain a lawyer. I'm not inclined. So here's the situation we find ourselves in right now as you keep on talking, right? And the only reason that we can't hear you and it's not a disruption currently to the record is because you were on mute. And in this moment, the court is not going to allow you to unmute yourself. So here's the situation. I don't have to keep giving you a lawyer. You're confused in your thinking. I have given you 2 lawyers free. I've given them to you. I've provided them as according to what the law requires. And this is the second lawyer that the court has provided for you that wants to withdraw. It's the second lawyer. So here's the situation. I'm going to allow counsel to withdraw. And then Miss Urell is going to have to try to get her some more counsel. Miss Urell is going to have to get her own counsel. Or Miss Urell is going to have to represent herself. I will talk to the Michigan Indigent Defense Counsel office and see if they're willing to appoint one more lawyer for Miss Urell. And I believe the answer may be no, because what we're not going to do is keep appointing lawyers for Miss Urell to curse out or be rude to or decide that she knows best on how to do the case. That sounds like Miss Urell needs to represent herself because she believes that she knows best how to do that. So we're going to come in person. Mr. Flanagan, we'll talk about it after the docket, but Ms. Urell needs to try to see if she can hire her own lawyer. If the MIDC appoints another lawyer to this case, and let me just let the record reflect. I know it can only be reflected in the video as opposed to in the verbal record because Ms. Urell is on mute. She is slamming her hands together. She is continuously talking while the court is talking. She is slamming her hands together. She now has her hands on her head, you know, and it's just inappropriate. So we're going to come in person in 2 weeks, and we're going to see if we can get another lawyer to do the case. And if not, that's fine too. Ms. Urell, today is January 17th. We're going to come January 31st in person. So we're going to set this in person at 9:02 council. you are, let the record reflect that Ms. Urell does have her hand up, and I am going to allow for her to unmute, but I'm going to state in advance and for the record that if you are rude, if you are yelling, if you are anything other than, and then let the record reflect that she is also sent directly to me, which is inappropriate, right? She has sent a chat saying, so I'm trying to figure out, you just not go let me say none, N-U-N. So that's what's in the chat. So let me just indicate for the record that is inappropriate to say to the judge. That's it's disrespectful.
Complete breakdown in communication. Translation: this woman is impossible to work with. And Judge Bryant, who's been patient up to this point, finally connects the dots. She reminds Sierra this isn't her first lawyer, it's her second. The first one quit too. At this point, you can practically feel the tension through the screen. The judge looks right into the camera and says, "People don't have to put up with being cursed at when they're trying to represent you." Then, Sierra, completely missing the gravity of the moment, fires back like she's arguing in a group chat. She actually tells the judge, "You're just trying to start something." Oh no. You could see Judge...
If that's how you're going to talk to me, when I unmute you, I'm going to immediately mute you back. And then it appears that we might need to submit the matter for a competency evaluation, but I'm going to allow you to unmute, and you're going to be respectful to me, or I'm going to mute you back. And there's nothing funny going on in my courtroom. There's nothing funny. So again, if we're not going to be respectful, then we're going to go back on mute. Okay, so you can unmute yourself, Ms. Urell.
I could talk now.
Ms. Urell, what do you want to
I
say
just
to
asked,
the
could
court?
I speak, and you just looked around and didn't say anything.
Ms. Urell, what do you want to say to the court? This is my last time asking you.
Okay, what I want to say to the court is, how y'all just go off of what some lawyer saying? You ain't asked me not one question. You ain't asked me nothing. You ain't asked me nothing.
First of all, lower your voice because you're yelling at me.
Because
Second
you
of
sitting
all,
here trying to make it just off of what a lawyer said.
First of all, you're yelling at
Bryant's expression change instantly, like the calm before a thunderstorm. She leans forward and goes, "Girl, who you talking to?" And that's it. The switch flips. What started as a routine pretrial hearing just turned into a live-streamed meltdown. Judge Bryant calls her out right there, reminds her that she's not being cute, she's being disrespectful. And the best part? The judge keeps her composure the entire time. No yelling, no name-calling, just pure controlled authority. It's one of those moments where you realize this judge doesn't need volume to command a courtroom. You can feel it. This is about to go downhill fast. Sierra's digging her hole deeper by the second, and what happens next?
Allow that. Second of all, I specifically said, so let's rewind.
No, I know exactly what you said.
Because your memory is failing you, and let the record reflect that I've muted Ms. Urell. So when counsel asked to withdraw, I specifically said, Ms. Urell, do you agree with that assessment? So you said, I didn't ask you nothing. You said, I'm just going by what some lawyer said. And when counsel asked to withdraw, I specifically said, Ms. Urell, do you agree with that assessment? And then Ms. Urell said, I guess so. That's what Ms. Urell said. So let the record be clear that I, in fact, asked Ms. Urell, if she agreed with the assessment. So I'm going to go ahead and set the matter for January the 31st for a final pretrial conference. It is in person at 9:02. We are going to contact the Michigan Indigent Defense Council to see if they will appoint a third lawyer for Ms. Urell. This will be the third and final lawyer appointed. If this relationship does not work out for Ms. Urell, then we are going to, let me disable the chat because Ms. Urell continues to speak to me in the chat, which is inappropriate. So I'm going to disable the chat. And then we are going to, Ms. Urell, if you would stop yelling, if you would pay attention, then I would take you off mute. But like literally right now, you're yelling, literally. And the only reason that we can't hear is because you're off mute. Now, what I'm going to do, let me just read for the record what she sent to me directly in the chat, which was inappropriate. Can you let me know if you're going to let the record reflect that she's clearly, like, she's, even in this moment when I'm trying to read what she wrote in the chat, she's literally yelling. But the only reason we can't hear her is because she's on mute. So she chatted me, and Madam Prosecutor, and her chat says, can you let me know if you're going to lock me up? No, okay. No, KNOW. So I can get my babysitter in order. Now, what's interesting to me is that I've not said anything about locking anybody up. We're coming in like I'm literally trying to get Miss well, let me say this to you. So you can unmute, because what's going to happen is if you keep cursing at me, what's going to happen is you are going to get locked up. Now, it's not
your goal anyways. That's your game plan anyways.
You don't know what my game plan is. You don't know anything about me. You don't know anything about me. So we're going to come in person January 31st at 9:02. We're going to contact the Michigan Indigent Defense Council, and we're also going to order a competency evaluation. So this is third lawyer. January 31st at 9:02 in person. Mr. Pernicano, you are discharged from the case. Everyone have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll see people on the 31st.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Yeah, it's going to get even worse. So now we're at the breaking point. Judge Bryant's patience, gone. The lawyer's done. And Sierra, still sitting there, staring up at the ceiling like this is all just a big inconvenience, has no idea what's about to hit her. Judge Bryant calmly explains, "You've already had 2 lawyers appointed to you. The only time you get to pick your lawyer is when you hire one." But Sierra's not listening. She's sighing, looking everywhere except at the camera, acting like she's the one being wronged here. And the judge, still keeping her composure, says, "I'm trying to be patient this morning." You can hear the restraint in her voice. Then comes the reality check. People don't have to put up with you being rude or disrespectful, the judge tells her. And that's when Sierra snaps back with that classic deflection. "I didn't curse at you, you're just trying to start something." The silence that follows, chilling. You could feel the courtroom freeze. Judge Bryant, dead serious, looks straight into the camera and says, "Girl, who you talking to?" That line alone, pure gold. That's the exact moment Sierra realizes she's not talking to a substitute teacher. She's talking to a judge who's seen every type of disrespect imaginable and still doesn't blink. The judge keeps going, calmly but firmly. "I've given you 2 lawyers, both free, because that's what the law requires. But what we're not going to do is keep appointing lawyers for you to curse out." Boom. That's the gavel drop right there. At this point, Sierra's still on mute, flailing her arms. slamming her hands together, completely oblivious that her behavior's being recorded for the record. The judge literally describes it out loud for the transcript. She's clapping her hands, she's yelling, she's slamming her hands together, she's got her hands on her head. It's like a play-by-play of how not to act in front of a judge. And here's where the brilliance of Judge Bryant shines through. She doesn't lose control. She doesn't raise her voice. She just lays it out. You're going to end up representing yourself if this continues. And honestly, she's right. You can't fire or drive away every lawyer and expect the system to bend for you. Then, Sierra decides to type in the chat. Oh yeah, you heard that right. She chats the judge. She actually messages her saying, "So you're just not going to let me say nothing?" And later, "Can you let me know if you're going to lock me up so I can get my babysitter in order?" That's when Judge Bryant's patience officially runs out. She says, "I haven't said anything about locking you up, but if you keep cursing at me, that's exactly what's going to happen." And Sierra, instead of backing down, throws the line that seals it all. "You don't know anything about me." Oh, but Judge Bryant does. She knows entitlement, she knows manipulation. She's seen it all before. At this point, the judge just shuts it down. She orders an in-person hearing, a possible competency evaluation, and ends the session. Case adjourned, for now. And here's the kicker. When this